Okay, right, so what we've seen from your golf swing and the video that you sent through to me, okay, we've got to try and teach you and educate you on how to use the momentum of the club correctly, okay? You've got to remember that when this is swinging around you, it weighs a certain amount, and as it swings, the momentum will gather that and make it feel heavier. So what I'm seeing with yours, okay, first of all, the main thing that I think that we need to work on is we've got to work on this movement that you have when you take the club away, of it coming very much on the inside, and you've seen that in the video that we did earlier. As it comes back on the inside, there's a tendency for the arms to rise up, then up the body, and then there's a tendency then for you to then correct that. So when it gets too flat here, you have to then try and reroute that back onto the right path. Now you're creating what we call a fake path, okay? You know, you said to me it was coming in on a zero path line. It's great. That's because you're an athlete. You know how to correct that in the swing. You know how to use and manipulate the club to get it correct. I mean, I could be coming from way over the top, but I could have a fake path by aiming way to the right, and I'd still have a neutral swing path to the target, okay? But actually, effectively, I was standing square. I'd be 10 degrees or whatever, so many degrees to the left of the path itself. So that's what we're seeing with yours, and this is having a knock-on effect on other things. So when you're swinging the club round really flat like so, okay, the club's getting up, it goes higher, and then it's being forced over the top. So you're actually creating a bit of a loop on the downswing. And this has an effect as well, because you're fighting the momentum of the club. It goes back, it then comes up and over. You're then making you then throw the club from the top, because it's all the momentum that's gathering that way. You're trying to then release it too early. So because it comes around from in here, it comes up, and then you're releasing it too early. And then that's you trying to then salvage the shot. And because you've come over the top like so, and you've had to turn and release your body earlier to try and get it back online, okay, you're then stalling, and then everything works upwards. Okay, so then you come into the ball, you're then having to rise up, and this causes the club to come under yourself, and this can cause it to be off to the right. This is where you're getting a bit fat. You're a bit of what they used to call it rock and block. So you used to call it that you used to then rock the shoulders up and used to then block it out to the right. Okay, and you can tell this by your follow through, because the club exit very, very high, and this elbow comes up very, very high as well on the way through. So I didn't get this camera angle from you, but when I swing back very, very flat, and I then lift it up, I'm then going to release it early and then rock and block it on the way through, okay? And that's what we're seeing you do when you hit the shot. So the first thing that you would need to work on for me, though, really please as well, is get this handle, or this left hand on the grip correctly. I want to see more knuckles. Don't be afraid to bring it over. You can't go too strong. The reason being for this is if I put myself in my right impact position by left hip pushing backwards and left shoulder pushing backwards, this straightens my arm out differently. And the club face, if I don't have it on strong enough, okay, and don't put it round enough, when it straightens out, it won't stay square. If I have it in a neutral position, as some people would call it, where I can only see two knuckles, and I end up going like that, the club face naturally turns and points to the right hand side. So you're trying to fight that constantly. So get the grip correct first. What we're going to try and get you to do, though, is to get a sense of swinging it differently. So when you're swinging the golf club back, I want you to get a feeling of the handle and the wrist working upwards. Okay, so drill. So that's what we're going to try and do, is get the club to work upwards. So the handle feels like it goes down and the head goes up. And I want the club to go fairly steep on the way back, and then it's going to reroute on the way down. So it's going to go up and down. You're going to get your inner Matt Wolf working on this one. You'll feel like you're going like this to then snap it down, but it's going to work in and up. You're going to feel like it's very steep. I want the shaft almost to be vertical on the way back, and then as it works down, you're going to then work it the other way, because the momentum wants to go the other way, whereas yours is going in here and out that way. You want yours to go up and down. Okay, this is going to make your body work all differently altogether. Okay, but that's going to be the first rule that we're going to try and do, is get the club going up and then down on the right path. The second thing we're then going to work on with you is then getting the body to turn out the way correctly. And because you're having to work upwards and work in that manner, okay, we need to try and get the club, once it's in the right position here, is to then work everything to the left. And you're going to feel like the left hip's going backwards and the left shoulder's going backwards as well. And you're going to feel like you're really exiting the club way to the left-hand side. Okay, you're going to feel, funny enough, because you're coming on the right path, you'll be okay, but you're going to feel like you're really exiting left. All right, so that's really, really important that you get that feeling. If we can do those three things really, which is grip, get the hands working correctly or the wrists working correctly, and getting the club working in a different path or different manner, that's going to really help you as well. Do these things and I promise you, you'll get a lot more consistent with your strike and with your ball flight. You'll be able to control the ball a lot better because you're not fighting the momentum of the club, you're working with it, and that's the difference.